In this video, I'm going to give you an introduction to the Tableau Server REST API and how you can use it to download data from a workbook. So I'm going to start here with my Tableau online site. And what I'm going to do is take a workbook view in here and fetch the data from it. So the REST API, as a general introduction, allows you to automate tasks involving Tableau Server. And downloading data from a view is one of them, which is really useful if you've got people you need to get the data to who aren't actually Tableau Server users, but who just want some raw data. So here's my Tableau online site, and we'll start by using an application called Postman to interact with the REST API. So this is a really good tool for demonstrating, for sending off HTTP requests. So your first step with the REST API is always to sign in. And what that gives you is a token and also a site ID, and then you need to put these into your subsequent requests. So I'll show you the sign in. So what we do is, first of all, you're going to post, so send some data off to this URL. Now you can find the URL in our documentation. Now what we need to include are some headers. So here I've decided to send it JSON, but you could also send it XML, and I tell Tableau Server that that's what it should expect and accept. So those are my headers, and we also send it a body. So like I said, this is JSON format data. Now what I'm going to send it is my credentials. So here I'm using a personal access token, which is something you can set up in current version of Tableau Server. And here, this here is a Postman variable, but it is my actual personal access token. And here we've got the site content URL. Now you get this by looking at the URL of your site, which is this part here, and then we simply copy and paste it into the body. Now, once you've done that, we can send off our request. So this is what we get back. It's a JSON format response, and the really important fields here are the site ID, which is one that people often overlook, and your authentication token. So now what we're going to do is run through the steps to download data. So the way this works is you actually tell Tableau REST API to get data from a certain view. So what we've got here is a sheet, and what we're going to do is fetch the summary data for this view. It is equivalent to doing this and then picking the summary data option. So this is what we're going to expect. So this is what we're going to expect back from the REST API. So now we'll come to how we actually go and get the view ID for that workbook. So view ID is what the REST API expects, and it uniquely identifies each view. And in order to get that, we need to actually go and search for it using this API endpoint here. So this is where the site ID goes. This is really important. Sometimes people put the site name in there, but no, it's actually the ID that we got back. And then in terms of what we do with our token, we have to put that in the headers, and the key name is xTableauth, and in there goes the auth token. And that is a Postman variable. I've already copy and pasted it in. So now we're going to go off and send this. Now what we have is the site ID that goes in here in the URL. In terms of the body, we're not going to send anything because we're just doing a GET request. And the crucial thing is here to search for the name of the view. So that's not going to return a unique view because there might be multiple views called products, so it's just a filter. So now we send that off. Happily, I only have one view called products. You can see this will come with multiple pages, but down here in my response, it tells me everything about that view. So what workbook it belongs to, the owner, and what we really want here is the view ID, which is this one here. So we're going to copy that and now paste it into our third query, which is query view data. Now this is a slightly different endpoint. You can see we've still got that site ID, but this time we're pasting in the view ID here. Now you can see that I've already done this. Headers. Body, we're not sending anything, we're just doing a GET request. So now I send this off, and what we're expecting back is the data itself. So this will come as part of the response body. Here we go, and you can see it's comma separated values, And now you can go and read this into an application. So you might be executing all these using Python, for example, and away you go. That's how you get your data from the REST API.